Completing the square. When you have a trinomial like this, x squared plus 2x minus 5 equals 0, you can complete the square by following these steps over here. So you want the number without a letter on the opposite side. So over here, I took my 5 and I moved it over where the 0 is. And when I simplified it, so I got rid of that 5 on the left side, I put a box to show that there's nothing there anymore. So I left room, okay? So next I'm going to complete this square by plugging in a formula, b divide 2a. So I go back to it, and I have a, b, c, c, and c. C's are always normal numbers. So I took my b, which is just 2, and I plugged into the formula. 2 over 2 times a, which is 1. I don't put x, just 1. And then I simplified it to get the number 1. So my next step is plug that into those blanks that I left. So then you can see I put plus 1, plus 1. The next step is to factor that trinomial that I just made. So when I plugged in that 1 right there, I created a new trinomial. X squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 5 plus 1, which is 6. But let's go back to that factoring. So I have to factor. So this is my favorite method right here. Whenever you have just x squared, you can use this method. I call it the crisscross or x method. So what times what equals your c, your last number, but also adds up to that middle number with the normal x. So I have what times what equals 1, but also adds up to 2. So 1 times 1 equals 1, and 1 plus 1 equals 2. So then I plug it in to the new formula. So I put parentheses, and I do x plus 1 squared. The squared means both of these numbers right here turned out to be 1. So 1, or x plus 1 squared equals 6. The next step is to square both sides, or square root both sides rather. So that is that long division side with the little tail. That will get rid of that square. Okay, so you want to do that to both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Okay, so then I have x plus 1 equals plus or minus square root of 6. Okay, so then I have two equations because that plus or minus. So then I can solve by getting rid of the 1 on both equations. So over here and over here. And then you see I have plus square root 6 and minus square root 6. So I have two different answers right there. So you need to complete all of these steps for all of the completing the square equations.